So a little while back, I got this email from Mint. Mint is going away and becoming a part of Credit Karma. And this got me thinking, that means there's gonna be a lot of people that need something else to track their finances with. And so, I made this video. Hello everyone, my name is Zach and welcome to On Cashflow, where I help you become a master of your own cash flow. Now let's get started. All right, here is the juicy details. Okay, maybe they're not juicy, they're just details, but here they are. Intuit is the parent company that owned Mint. It also owns Credit Karma, QuickBooks, TurboTax, just to name a few. And Intuit decided to shut down Mint, and originally it was scheduled for January 1st of 2024. However, they since postponed that, and at least at the making of this video, it was postponed until March 23rd, 2024. Maybe they'll postpone it more, maybe not. I don't know yet. But what it seems to be is that Intuit is kind of consolidating Mint into Credit Karma. So Credit Karma was mainly for tracking your credit score, your credit report for free, and then you can also apply for credit cards. But now they're trying to get more people to actually track their finances on Credit Karma rather than operate Mint separately. And that's fine and all, but I also want to present you another option because I used to use Mint. However, I quit Mint 1 year before they actually decided to quit themselves. I started using Personal Capital exclusively, so now I have a full year of actually using Personal Capital exclusively for tracking my finances, tracking my investments, my budget, and all that kind of stuff. Now they since rebranded it as Empower Personal Dashboard, but it's pretty much the same thing. Here's why I switched to Personal Capital from Mint over 1 year ago. First off, this is a minor reason, but still a good reason, is that Personal Capital has no ads on it. Mint had a lot of annoying ads when you were trying to do stuff. There would be a bunch of ads in the way and all this stuff, and it got kind of annoying. So that's one small reason why I did switch. However, a more important one was that I always had problems with Mint staying connected to my big accounts. So they were always out of whack and I always had to fix them. While this does happen with Personal Capital as well, I like to say that it does happen a lot less often. Another reason I switched was that Personal Capital was just better at analyzing investments. So you can actually track your investments right there on Personal Capital, and it has very specific tools that are dedicated to looking at your asset allocation, looking at your performance, and all that good stuff when it comes to your investments, where Mint didn't really have that. And another reason why I made a switch was, believe it or not, Personal Capital actually has less features for budgeting than Mint does. And the reason why this was important to me was I was very particular and I was always in Mint, fixing up the transactions and adjusting the dates and trying to make it perfect. And I actually spent way too much time doing that than what I realistically need to spend, right? I don't need to spend that much time, getting my budget all perfect and getting all the transactions perfect. Personal Capital has fewer features when it comes to actual budgeting, but it's just enough to keep you on track. It is not as in-depth as Mint was when it comes to the individual transactions and the individual budget categories and stuff, but it is enough for you to do everything that you need to do. And it actually makes me spend less time doing all that stuff, which is actually a good thing. Then I can spend my time doing other things that I enjoy, right? Rather than getting caught up in all the budget stuff. And last but certainly not least, I like to think of myself as a pretty honest, upfront person. A reason why I did make the switch was I was able to actually partner with Personal Capital after making the switch as an affiliate, which means that if I recommend Personal Capital software and someone clicks through my link and signs up for that, and if they link over $100,000 of assets, then I could potentially get $100 if they linked $100,000 in assets. So obviously that's a good incentive for me to use their product myself. So I'm up to date with everything when it comes to the Personal Capital dashboard. And so don't worry, I will invite you to use Empower Personal Dashboard at the end of the video. But for now, let's actually get in there and take a look at what the dashboard looks like in Personal Capital. The first one that I want to start with is net worth. One of the keystone features of Personal Capital, and Mint for that matter, was that it automatically tracks and adjust your net worth based on how your investments are doing, how much of a balance you have on your credit cards, and all that good stuff. So you can go ahead and go in there. You can link your bank accounts, your investment accounts, your retirement accounts, your credit cards, your loans, all that good stuff. You can link it on there and it will automatically track and calculate your net worth. And as you probably know, in order to calculate your net worth, it has to take all of your assets and it has to subtract the value of all of your liabilities. And after you do that, you will get your net worth. However, it's not perfect. Just like Mint was not perfect, there are times when it can kind of mess up your net worth. Like when you're adding an account, you're refreshing your accounts, or you close an account, you have to delete it. There can be small little blips in your net worth. You'll see where it drops off right off there. That could just be you editing it, trying to add an account or delete an account or something like that. So it can get messed up. So the chart is not going to be perfect, but it's going to be directionally accurate. And that's the thing with net worth anyway, is that it changes literally second to second, and it's just kind of a small snapshot in time. So net worth, at least historically speaking, doesn't really matter. Now, really quick, I just want to say that I'm actually showing you my real personal capital dashboard, right? This is actually my data, like my net worth and spending and budget and stuff like that. If you appreciate me sharing this stuff with you, I would really appreciate it if you took a quick second and hit the like button on this video, because it really does help me out. Thank you. All right, the next one we want to take a look at is budgeting, because that's what most people probably did with Mint. But you can also do some really good budgeting on the Empower dashboard. The great thing about it is that it shows every category all in one place. You can see your total amount of spending per month or year to date. Then you can take a look at each category and how much is contributing to that number as a breakdown right next to it. You can look at it on a monthly basis. For example, like you want to spend $3,000 per month. So you can see, hey, am I spending $3,000 per month, or am I spending less than that this month, or did I spend over that this month? But I usually like to look at it on a year-to-date basis, because for me, I don't have a even budget every single month. Now I average out my budget every month. Like I want to say, hey, for me personally, I want to spend about $2,300 per month times 12. Year-to-date is much more important, because some months I'm going to spend more, some months I'm going to spend less. That's how our reality is. It's not that smooth, same amount every single month, and that's perfectly fine. Just so you can see a full year here, take a look at this. This was my first full year of tracking on personal capital in 2023, and soon I'm going to make a whole nother video on breaking down my spending in 2023. And now when it comes to tracking your personal finances, this leads me to the big question. I want to know from you in the comments below. Were you a Mint user? Or what else are you using in order to track your finances? Please let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear what you have to say. Now, getting on to one of the most important tabs on here, that is your asset allocation. So it's really great that you can see your asset allocation at any time, because you generally want to maintain a certain kind of asset allocation, right? And over time, your asset allocation can become a little bit out of whack. Maybe if you have income coming in and you're saving it, or maybe you have just one investment going up while the other is going down. The thing I specifically like about the asset allocation when it comes to Empower is that it specifically uses your investment asset allocation. It's not including everything else. It's only using what's in your investment portfolio. And the reason that's important is because, for me at least, that's the asset allocation that I care about, right? What are my liquid investments, like my stocks and bonds, for example, or just my stocks? What kind of asset allocation do I want between those? That's what I monitor the most. That is what I actually really need to pay attention to, because I want, let's say, 80-20 or 85-15 or whatever I want. I can take a look at that and see, am I pretty close to that now? Do I need to rebalance or not? And that's why I really like that it uses only your investment portfolio to calculate your asset allocation. And just for reference, when you're looking at my asset allocation right here on personal capital, the alternative section is going to be real estate that's actually owned within VTI, Vanguard's total stock market index fund for the US. And then if you look at cash, there is cash that's actually held in index funds. And Empower is actually able to look at that and actually show you how much cash is being held by each fund. So if you have like an actively managed mutual fund, you might see that some of them hold a lot of cash, and therefore that could actually present a lot of drag on your investment performance if they hold too much cash. This video was meant to be kind of a small showcase of another option for you to track your personal finances besides Mint. But here on the Empower dashboard, there is much more to explore. For example, you can look at stuff such as your cash flow, your investment performance, and they have a lot of cool little free retirement calculators that are built into using your data. So if you're interested in trying out the Empower dashboard, you can go to oncashflow.com/resources, and right there on that page, if you click through to the Empower and sign up and link your accounts, that would really help out my channel. Like I mentioned before, I am an affiliate of Empower, so if you were to sign up through my link and link over $100,000 of assets, then I could potentially get paid $100 for everyone who does that. But even if you have less than $100,000, you can also click through and sign up, no problem, and just check it out and try it out if you want to try it out. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Zach from oncashflow.com, and I hope to see you next time. I can potentially get to use